I got Boots. Yeah, I got Boots. I think he's too skillful. IQ level, how quick he is. I think he's levels above.
It's hard to really go against Boots because on that one with specifically Xander, Xander's still young, Boots is a lot older and has a lot more experience.
Is this a fight that you dare to say is a 50-50 fight?
Yeah, it gives a 50-50 fight. I give it more, it's 50-50 in a sense, but because of the experience, you can go 60-40. 60 with Boots, 40 with Xander, but it is a 50-50 fight, yes.
Boots has just looked more special athletically to me than Xander throughout their careers, right? On the other hand, when you said Xander got better, Xander was so precocious. He was such a young fighter when we first saw him. And you don't have your man bones yet as a boxer. Now he's into his 20s, maybe a different fighter.
View as anticipation builds for the fight between Jaron Ennis and Xander Zayas. Boxing experts are sharing bold predictions. Ennis brings explosive power and proven experience, while Zayas offers rising star momentum and sharp technical skill, setting up an exciting generational clash.
Jaron Ennis, it looks like we're going to be getting a fight with Jaron Ennis and Zayas. A great fight. How do those two match up together? We see Jaron Ennis really getting a crack at a guy who is as gifted as he is almost skill-wise, who has the determination and the will that you just talked about.
The winner of that fight should dominate the junior middleweight division for a little while, because those are the top two guys of the division. They're meeting at a great time, and whoever wins this fight should be the supreme 154-pounder right now.
Terrence Crawford believes a showdown between Ennis and Zayas would be thrilling, but feels it may come too early for Zayas. He pointed to Ennis' experience and elite level, suggesting the young contender still needs more time to develop.
Boots Ennis and Zayas announced this morning as well. Thoughts on that?
Man, that's a tough fight, especially for Xander at this point in his career, but it shows his heart and his confidence, that he has in himself, and he's ready to go make history for his country, and he's going to do real well in that fight. I just think, right now, it's a little bit too early for him.
Former world champion Abner Mares echoed that view, agreeing it might be too soon for Xander Zayas. He emphasized that Zayas is highly talented but still growing, and facing someone like Ennis now could be a premature step.
Possibly happening, Xander versus Boots. How do you see that fight going? Do you think maybe Xander's a little bit too young there?
Too soon.
Too soon. You think it's too soon?
Brother. Yeah, I love Sanders, and if he waits and if he's smart and his team is smart, they'll hold on at least 2 more fights, and then release him to the wolves. And I'm just speaking realistic in how I see it, because I wouldn't want him to lose a really hard fight and him just declining. You get me? And it happens. We've seen it with fighters where it's too soon of a fight. I mean, let's not go far. I mean, I hate to use him as an example, but when Vargas fought Trinidad, it was too soon, brother. And, you gotta have and you gotta be patient with your fighters, and I think they have to be patient with Xander Zayas. Not that I'm saying that he can't win. Maybe he can, but maybe he's gonna get hit too much or injured himself. You get me? So wait a little bit for Xander Zayas.
However, legendary former champion Roy Jones Jr. praised Xander Zayas as a complete fighter. He highlighted his balance, skill set, ring IQ, and maturity, saying he has all the tools to compete at the highest level.
A guy like Xander, naturally it sounds like Xander may be an underdog in this matchup. What do you think that Xander presents to Boots that, one, he hasn't seen before, and that, two, he'll have to adjust to be successful?
Height, discipline, and Xander's actually a good puncher, and he also knows how to work to the body. So Xander is a complete fighter. I don't know how many complete fighters Boots really has faced, but unlike the guy he fought from overseas who was a decent fighter but he wasn't complete, Xander's complete.
Timothy Bradley predicts that Boots Ennis could stop Zayas, possibly between rounds 9 and 11. He explained that Zayas tends to slow down in the later rounds, partly due to the weight he cuts, which affects his stamina.
Xander, he good. I've been reading a lot of comments and stuff, and people saying that, 9, 10. I've been also seeing, 11. Shit. Look, I just got done studying some Xander Zayas, man. Late in the fight, he begins to fade. Round 8, 9, he starts to fade. Yeah. He starts to fade because all that weight he put on. He put on so much weight in between fights. Boots, his ass put on weight too. I'm like, God, this dude is big. He look like he about 175. And he come all the way down to 54. shit, that shit drains him. That drains him. And it pulls from his legs. And in the later rounds, he started to get fatigued. And I noticed.
Reviewing Zayas' recent performances, Bradley noted that while he applies steady pressure, he lacks the advanced strategy and movement needed to effectively counter Ennis' aggressive and explosive style.
I noticed that in the last fight. You know, he tried to keep it together with good technique, but shit, he couldn't hide. You can't hide that shit from me. You can't hide that from me, man. Went back, watched the film, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is standardized type of pressure that this dude been putting on him all night. It ain't no special effects. You know what I'm saying? He ain't cutting the angles and looking to cut him off. Occasionally, he will follow his ass. Once he, if he goes Xander pulls out left, he'll try to, meet him with a left hook or meet him with a right hand, but it wasn't nothing that was like crazy. With head movement, the shit that Boots gonna be doing, all that head moving and sliding, tucking and moving on angles and shit. Boots, that's what Boots gonna attack his ass late. And Boots got power. He got major power, man.
Former world champion Shawn Porter sees the Ennis versus Zayas matchup as highly competitive. He praised both fighters' talent, pointing out Ennis' experience and pressure, while also recognizing Zayas' skill, athleticism, and youth.
I feel like you yourself, like I said, great boxing mind. I was wondering if I could pick your brain with a particular matchup that was announced yesterday. Okay. You sparred with both of these gentlemen. It's Boots and Zayas.
Oh, yes.
From what I understand, Zayas a little younger into his career. Boots, I believe sometime last year we were able to get some work with him. And you said it's a little closer than what some people are saying. So how do you view that in particular?
Sure, man. You got two soldiers. We always identify ourselves as warriors, so you guys know that we're warriors, right? But I think a lot of times, a lot of fans, they forget that there's two warriors, and they get so caught up in what one warrior has, and they completely forget that even though this guy's got something, listen, this guy standing across from you, like I was saying on the Borderway podcast, we understand that this guy is dangerous. And until we put that guy in the right position, we can't.
While Porter slightly favors Ennis, he stressed that this is not a one-sided fight. He expects a tough and competitive battle where either fighter could come out on top.
And I truly do think that Xander has a lot, not just some. He has a lot of attributes that are going to offset what Boots has been known for, what Boots has been able to do. And I think it's going to be a pretty good competitive fight. I do think that Boots is a bit much for the younger Xander, but Xander's had a lot of really good experiences that's made him worthy for this moment. I think right off the top, I would say Boots wins this fight, but it's not an easy fight. And should Boots not just simply sit down at the dinner table and have his way, don't be surprised. And I think that's another part of the game that gets lost. You got to promote both sides. Right. It's always A side, B side. And I get that. I understand that. But you got to promote the B side. Yeah. Because what happens when the B side is doing something that you don't expect? Right. All of a sudden, A side isn't doing what he's supposed to be doing, or he's not who he is. No, it's that the B side's more. But you got to promote it that way so that people expect more, So I think along the way, that's going to be my narrative is, hey, both these...
Hall of Fame legend Winky Wright stated that greatness comes from beating top-level opponents. He believes a fight between Zayas and Ennis is exactly that kind of test, offering both men a major opportunity to prove themselves.
Looks like Xander and Boots are going to fight. What are your thoughts on that fight?
It's going to be a good fight, man. The division looking good right now, and I just want to see all the fighters fight each other, man. The best need to fight the best. That's what's going to bring the fans to boxing. And, you can only be great by beating somebody great. You know what I'm saying? You can have a bunch of wins with no great win. You're just a good fighter, but you want to be great, you need to beat another great fighter. So they got the opportunity.
Richard Torres Jr. said he is a big fan of Xander Zayas and respects his abilities. He believes Zayas has the skill and heart to challenge Ennis and make the fight competitive.
Questions more for you. What do you think about Boots versus Xander? How do you break that out?
Man, it's two insanely talented fighters. I myself am a Xander fan. I through and through since day one. I've known him since the amateurs. I'm gonna rock with Xander. He's my guy. I won't ever go against him, man. So Xander's my guy, and I'm gonna keep with him. But Boots is such a talented fighter. I'm a fan of his as well, and I'm excited for that. I just saw he posted today that he signed the contract. So let's see.
Xander Zayas. I know we thought Virgil. I know we talked about that. I know we thought Virgil, but nice pivot.
Yeah.
What you thinking?
Oh, he's gonna punish him. He's gonna punish him. He's gonna take him to school and he's gonna punish him. He's gonna box his head off. Circle.
Damn.